Hey, it's Rebecca. Welcome to Returning, a podcast to return to yourself and the wisdom within. I'm so glad you're here with me. Today on Returning, a prayer for those going through sacred pain, a poem from my book, Letters to a Starseed, and it's page 215 if you'd like to read along. For those going through sacred pain, soon, these times of sacred rebirthing will be over. Soon, soon, soon. These moments of devastating separation, of polarity, of being misunderstood, of confusion, of not being seen or heard. And while just now we may not be able to see the end in sight, from the perspective of the soul, what we are in is but a breath in the timeline of the earth. This moment matters. You came here for this. We all have our own personal syllabus, and someday, some decade or century soon, what feels like it will matter will not. So trust your part in the sacred play. Trust that these times are birthing times for the future of humanity, for all of us, both individually and collectively, holy rebirthing times. The one must fall for true oneness to reign. It is both about you and not about you. Trust your part in the sacred labor, in the contractions, in the pressure, in the darkness, in the push. In the void, we will birth ourselves and discover that what we thought was a tomb is actually a womb. After winter, sweetness will return once more. It's the law of the earth. I wrote this poem back in 2020, the beginning of 2020. I'd just given birth for the first time, had my son, and the world was going crazy. I think we all remember that. I know we all had our own personal things that we were going through, but at the same time, it was like the whole world was going through some kind of initiation, confusion, healing, cracking open. Anyone who gives birth knows that it's a very sensitive time. Once you have given birth, it's like you're wide open, and it was really interesting. And I know there's many other mothers out there, and first-time mothers in particular, who became mums during such an extreme moment on the planet in history. And I don't believe I don't believe that that's a coincidence. I think that perhaps from a soul perspective, we chose it. But yeah, for me, the extremes of that moment, and birth really taught me that. Birth taught me, made me see how connected the gates of life are, birth and death. And it made me really see the extremes of being human. And I think they were such extreme times. And so that's where I wrote that poem from, and I kind of wrote it to myself, and it was also, I think, written through me. And I think that it's going to take us a little while for us to understand what that period was, and I think that by no means are we through it entirely, but I think we're starting to pick up some of the pieces and see how us as a collective, as a planet, as well as a community, as well as individually, how much we've changed. And I think through the extremes, the agony, the pain, the separation, also comes on the other side of it, the ecstasy and the sweetness and the appreciation of those things that maybe we took for granted before. And I think, change is just a natural part of being human on earth. And change is definitely how we grow the most. And it's one of the hardest things for us to navigate, I think. And so, yeah, this poem, for those going through sacred pain, really is a poem that is written for all of us when we're going through those initiations. And even though we might know that we're becoming even more of who we are, it's also difficult. And so, yeah, this poem was really written as a light, as an invitation for us to hold on to hope without bypassing any part of these containers that we're in when it feels like everything is falling apart. So I'm holding you in my prayers. And if you would like more prayers or short poems like this, then please hit subscribe or feel free to sign up to receive each new episode directly in your inbox at rebeccacampbell.me/podcast. Thanks for returning with me.